the hell? Invalid. What the fuck going on? What up, Yada? So the software I use for VTubing got updated, but for whatever reason the download won't finish. I don't know what's going on with it. I don't know if it's Opera GX doing that or that I don't know what the hell's going on. Cause like it'll start the download, but it won't finish it. What's up, Sean? Did you have a good stream? I had you tabbed up when you were playing Fortnite. Am I tripping? Like, I don't understand that. Like I know what catcalling is, but I've never had it literally happen to me like that. He had a good stream. People in Fortnite were kicking my ass. Damn. But you had to kick hard, okay? Sean, please. Still getting catcalled. I'm done for the day with the catcalling. I appreciate it. Don't understand where that came from to this day. All right.
It's mostly because it's midnight.
Oh yeah, no, I completely understand, right? In your houses, everybody's asleep. You
I'm
don't
in
be out loud, but yeah, you can definitely
Smoky's
use
Discord
yeah,
now.
Yeah.
It's an apartment complex.
We have a class
and I'm
for how to learn how to rate
and
today.
French are annoying with noise.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, you're totally fine to text. I know, even if you're in a spot where you can't really talk,
We gonna learn
or
how
if
to
you're in a
fight
spot
monsters
where
today.
you don't feel comfortable.
You
'cause I
learn
deal
anything?
with
Oh, we
a lot
doing
of
it right
introverts,
now.
too.
So technically,
chat is
no,
totally
I didn't
fine.
learn anything.
I am patient and will wait and constantly look over. I have it open off to the side so I can see as people start to say stuff too. But yeah, just kind of trying to get a general idea. I think most of, in a lot of the cases here, some of the stuff that I cover, you're going to be like, well, duh, I already know that. Just, if it don't apply, let it fly. Do me that favor. If you already know something that I'm covering, just kind of humor me, let me go along with it. Typically, it will lead into more complex
Yeah, there's
topics,
a school for
or
fighting
it's
crime.
relevant and
Yeah.
will be relevant when you.
There's a school for rating.
That is your end goal. For my bigger kids in here, on which I think I only have Alston. I can't even really call him a big kid anymore.
No school on Sundays. It's too late for us,
For
Sean.
those of you that have already rocked with me for a little while, you hear me say it a lot. I don't need a cosigner. I got it. But yeah, that'll be about it. Mainly typing. I'll be saying every other word, but I'm present. Okay. Alston would like to introduce themselves. He was part of the first wave of folks that Spokane helped. He's done the first Dawn Trail Savage tier, working on the second, but it's late. and he's working on his second ulti. So Alston would be classified as a quote-unquote sophomore in regards to this Discord for those reasons. He's got a lot of experience under his belt. I can say things to him like it's clocks, and he understands immediately what that means. So
I gotta log out.
yeah,
But
higher tier level. You can get there if you decide to stay in the Discord or stick with the lessons, but not everybody wants to or needs to, and that is also fine as well. Maybe you're just here to try to figure out a little bit more about how the game works combat-wise in PvE, and that's okay. If you
Visit
have no
another
interest in joining, you don't
data
have to.
center?
Everything here is optional. Nothing is mandatory.
Data center, right?
Questions are welcome and encouraged too. So
Data center? Or the world data
today,
server?
I am going to cover probably the biggest and what I would personally consider the most important part of raiding and just
Dynamis.
PvE combat in general, which are mechanics. There's a bunch, but oddly enough, a lot of them have patterns and they only go complex based off of the base amount. I guess I will get started. Oh, here we go. Revan says 3 years of experience in 14. Most normal content. You've done everything up to Dawn Trail normal. You've done Valley Garmonda Extreme and Zoralja, but that's it for high end. Notice you have a battle mentor crown because you always like to actually be helpful and give a hand to people that are starting over. And you do try to do it in normal content as much as possible. A lot of things about mechanics will not be new for me. I'm here to learn as much as I can to become a raider at some point. Nice. Well, welcome in. I will continue to read those off as they come in into the text chat. So if I pause to read an intro, that's what that is. I'll try to premise that. One of the biggest things, we'll just get started, jump right into it. One of the biggest things I have noticed that people overlook often in fights, or that they feel like makes them a quote unquote bad player, is that they fall down a lot. So rule number one for being a raider in general, if that's what you aspire to, great. If not, that's fine. Rule number one to being a raider in general, you're going to fall down. You're going to fall down more than anybody else in this entire game, and that includes quote-unquote bad players. If you are raiding in high-end content, if you are doing Savages, Extremes, or Ultimates, you have more death counts on your death counter than any other kind of player in this entire game. So to help alleviate some of that anxiety, one of the biggest parts to becoming a quote-unquote badass or becoming someone who can raid and can handle high-end content and understand complex mechanics is accepting that you are going to fall down. I have 2 ultimates under my belt. I'm halfway through 2 others. Started DSR, so we're almost through phase 1 of that.
I can prefer with 4 now.
Yeah,
You're going to die a lot.
This is Happy Chaos, everyone. We call him
Hi.
Deshaun because that's one of his in-game name characters, so that's where that comes from. He is 4 out of 6 ultimates completed. If you decide to continue on and maybe try to dip a toe into ultimates, you'll probably
didn't know
spend
it was
more time
6.
with him than you normally would.
I didn't know that was 6.
But yes,
Damn.
falling down is a part of living this life. It just is. Oh, I've got a Sprout talking to me. Hold on 1 second. You take over while I talk to this Sprout. Abby. Okay. We were Dorian.
Is that
okay,
fair
so you guys
yet?
know each other. But yes, falling down is cardinal rule number 1. It's just part of the nature of the game. So the biggest hurdle to overcoming that, being on the ground as often,
Very
'cause it's gonna
inferior.
happen no matter how good you are at the game. It just is. But to overcoming it so that it doesn't happen as frequently, is learning mechanics. A lot of the mechanics, as I mentioned before, repeat themselves the further into each expansion and each game that you get. But you can start introducing yourself to some basic ones so that they are easily identifiable. The reason that I have us starting here is because the first thing that I want you guys to do is talk to this dude, the Smith. See this guy right here? He's got this green on. He's got a little leaf over his head. He looks like a sprout. The Smith has, if you go in and speak to him, options under the Hall of Novice. So you're going to select that and register for Hall of Novice training. And in there, you should find the option to A, display all exercises. It's a tiny, tiny button. If you need, I can share my screen. Give me 1 second.
I might need a boost. Can't see shit.
So I'm sharing screen so you can see what I'm looking at. But there's an option in here, if you click on it, to display all exercises. Of these exercises, you should have this purple tab called Tactical Training. These are the ones that I would like you guys to run through today. If you have done them already, great. Do them again. Let's get a refresher going. If you haven't done them, this is going to be excellent. It's a good way for the game to introduce some of the more popular mechanics that you will see in almost everything that you step foot into. There are 3 of them. Overall, this does take about 20 minutes. If you have questions in the interim, we are here and we can answer them, but this will be the first thing that I'd like you guys to kind of run through today. There are other trainings. So there's tank training, healer training, DPS training. I'm not so much worried about those for you today. This is something that you can mess with later. So it's the tactical training piece that I'd like you to focus. So if you can't get to it, please let me know. And if you can get to it, then have at 'em, cowboy. Get started. I ran through them today myself. It takes about 20 minutes or so, even with mistakes. I made a couple of mistakes myself with the knockback stuff. And then once this is done, we'll talk a little more in depth about different types of mechanics. I also have a different resource guide that I'm going to give to you, and I will share screen and show with you guys as well. Any questions, comments, or concerns?
Wait, which one?
Cool. I'm
What?
gonna vibe out here.
Which one was I supposed to do?
I'm still keeping an eye on the text chat.
Fuck it, I'ma
looks
do
like we
all
got
of 'em.
Another
I bet.
introduction out of Ami/Danny. Coming up on 3 years. In December, I'm completely caught up on Dawn Trail and Post. Favorite expansion is Shadowbringers. I've dipped my toes into P9S and the Cloud of Darkness Chaotic, but I feel I didn't have a grasp on what I was doing without being told what to do. I would like to understand everything behind it. Welcome in. This is a good place to do that at. I'm gonna vibe here, and keep an eye on you guys as you pop in and out.
Wait, was I supposed to type in a text chat? Look, I got it. You come here often? You're a conjurer?
This is your main. Oh, okay.
So that's a one. What do you got? You unarmed. Oh, you a pugilist. They touching me in here. Alright, let the exercise begin.
I honestly didn't know they had all of this. Like I think I did the others in the past, but I didn't know about this this exercise.
Yeah, so the tactical training was something that they added with the release of Dawn Trail. It is relatively new. And they didn't really do a great job advertising that it's here. So if you go through the game from base like ARR, they still introduce you to the Smith, but they don't really delve into it. They don't tell you what they have to offer. And there are your help pop-up boxes, but you know, most people go through those. I did. I'm not gonna fault anybody else for doing it too. Yeah, so it's relatively new. I'm very glad that they added it, but they did not cover everything, and that's why we're having you start with this base here.
I wonder how hard it is to make that symbol in Blender.
Oh, this chat thing is gonna be very annoying because I have to be tabbing out.
Oh,
I noticed when they launched this, I'm gonna try to be quiet.
That's okay.
I noticed when they launched it, the first thing that happened, like when you logged in, they popped up. But also, like, if you were a returner, because like the character that I met Happy Chaos with was a returner for a while, and then it popped up. But I agree, it wasn't very well advertised, and I feel that's a pity because it's very nice. I had not done this as Black Mage, so I think I did it as Dancer. I don't know. Yeah,
it's a good time. And going in there on different classes, can really help you understand how each class kind of has its own timing and pacing, or feel, I should say, to the timing and pacing. That would be more accurate. And this can help with that. So if you decide you want to play a caster in raiding, going into these as a caster just to see, you know, how quickly or slowly you can do stuff, is really good. Hi, Mina. What are we talking about right now? Yeah, so I had everybody jump into the Smith and do the tactical trainings. There's 3 of them. They take about 20 minutes, so everybody is going through those right now just to get a base understanding and feel of the mechanics that they might encounter at a very, very basic level. From there, I'm going to expand on that, and I have some resources for identifying mechanics, and we'll talk a little bit about how mechanics work when they get complex. I actually ended up making a video for you guys today. I hadn't planned on doing that. Originally, I just wanted to get some footage of complex mechanics, and it turned into me editing like a whole video together. Yeah, we'll talk through it though.
All right.
Spooky, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Have you tried Blue Protocol?
No. No, I have not.
Do you like playing your dress-up games?
Sometimes.
Well, this is one of them.
Brute Protocol. I gotta look into it. I'll have to look into it.
All stack markers?
It doesn't cover all of them. So that's why there's just one type or 2 types that go through, I think, in there.
I don't think it covers all of them.
No, but I've got resources for that. It's fine.
We had like 4 at this point.
You know, Mina, I'm hoping, Mina, that they'll expand on this as the years go on and they start to lump more and more stuff together and call it like a single mech, but we'll see. For now, this is a good base.
I want to see the tank one because I want to play like all the other tank busters.
They give you the beam, but not the red AoE or
I can share for you.
some of the other stuff. Yeah, there we go. We've got a view. Sani's showing us what they're going through right now.
No más solito. Now your final challenge. Let your girl go to your phone. Nah, you saw you tweak it.
I think we've picked up a little sprout here.
Oh, you picked the Sprout?
I think so. They seemed very curious. So they started sending me tells.
I know bebés.
My phone already locked. The world's first raider. Bro! If I get hit by this, I'm crashing out. Fuck!
It's tricky. So if you don't get it right the first time, don't feel bad.
How'd you know? Hey!
It's forcing you to slow down and pay attention to how things really go, and that's why I have you guys going through it, even if you already know what these mechanics are or like how they work.
Bitch, you walking in here on purpose! You motherfucker!
The first one is done, so I'll get.
You did that shit on purpose!
Yes, I would like for you guys to go through all 3 of them. Just to kind of refresh your memory on the different
No
types
worries.
of stuff that can happen in game and things like
I
that.
already killed Ifrit. Why the fuck am I doing this?
Yeah.
Yes, but it doesn't matter. Like, if you're here for the whole thing. So
Yeah.
Motherfucker. I fucking suck.
At least it kind of teaches you about, like, you know, rotation and stuff.
Damn it. Let me out! Fuck. I already knew that. Shut up. Get me the fuck out of here. Hey, I made $400.
If you have questions while you're going through, I am here. I am vibing. Oh, here we go. Mina's talking. Can't join today, but I can look from time to time. Ah, yes. No problem.
Fucking keep touching me and shit. Fucking.
Yeah, last it tells you what you should be doing as that role. Mina's headed out. Hey, I failed on the knockbacks trying to be cute and go in a different direction as the NPCs. It was like, that's not what I had in mind. Or like trying to line up with towers and stuff. It was really funny. Oh, it happens. Think as a whole, Square got tired of Sprouts running away with the stack marker. Because they do introduce spread mechanics before they introduce the stack marker.
God damn. Can I use arms leech in here? Alright. The most painful blow to the skull. Knock your noggin smooth off.
I like how they call you master and mistress. I think that's hilarious.
Yeah, Daniel, a lot of the stuff that like is going on here, like most people have probably learned to do Tron here.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is a more formalized. I was one that learned like that for the most part. And my mentor coming into the game did teach me a lot of really good stuff, but they were also kind of trolly. So I also picked up a lot of bad habits as well. And so since I have kind of stepped into endgame and starting to teach other people, I've taken a lot of what they've taught me or the style that they taught me and okay, but I'm actually going to give you the right answer type deal and passing that on. And I find overall you end up feeling like you're a better player at the end of it too. The class we have going right now is in an ultimate. It's still kind of a beginner ultimate, but they're doing pretty well. So they've grown kind of astronomically really fast, if I'm being honest. Really impressive.
I am proud of Ray. He's
Yeah, definitely rock starring it. But my hope is that by taking it back even further a step and starting at this kind of beginner level, we can get some more of that, where you guys have confidence going into stuff. When a new dungeon releases, when a new trial releases, when a new extreme comes out, if you want to go do it, you see a mount in there that you want, you have that courage and that confidence to just go jump in and be like, yeah, man, I'm gonna figure this out. It doesn't matter. Because that's the reality of the situation, right? I'm sure you've all been in Limsa and you've seen these like big raiders with their legend tags and their shiny weapons, and they're all just kind of standing around in a circle facing each other, and they don't really talk or socialize. And you're like, wow, man, I wonder how they... Wow, I wonder how I can get to that level. They just have the courage and confidence to go jump into it and try it. That's the reality of it. I make the running gag that Ultimate Raiders eat glue. Every last one of them. Yep, see? Every last one of them. We all eat glue, me included. And what I mean by that is that we're just not afraid to fall down. We're not afraid to make those mistakes because we know that at the end of it, we're going to get what we're after. So by arming you guys with the knowledge, it should boost your confidence. And by boosting your confidence, you should feel brave enough to maybe try something that you haven't in the past before. At least that's my hope anyway. Hi, Mia. Welcome in. Mia is also an Ultimate Raider. She doesn't teach, but she does often fill for us when we need a healer. And if I'm not around, she can fizz range too, since typically most people will yell for me first.
There's me who's confident, but just like playing with random because raiding the homies is so much fun. Facts, bro. Facts.
I want to say. Where's my text chat?
I play with anybody, but I do dumb shit. I know I do dumb
Elmer's
shit.
and raisins all the way. You right. You damn right.
Elmer's and raisins.
2, almost 3 years.
Good to see you, Fish Spider.
Yeah, see? And really it is just a matter of arming yourself with the knowledge.
Damn!
Fish is popping in to say hi. Fish is another one of our big kids. Her rating with the homies is better than PF every day. Valuable words, Fish. Thank you. I can't really consider Fish a learner anymore. He goes with the learner classes because that's a busy man IRL. But at this point, he's cleared an ultimate. He understands almost all of the basic mechs, and he has the pattern recognition that you guys are working to build today. So I would very much consider Fish a big kid, despite the fact that he has no trophies to show for it. He's also categorized as a sophomore. Mia is categorized as a sophomore, primarily because I don't know her rating experience. Really, you should probably be a junior, honestly. But that's just... that's just me.
Okay.
Got my one trophy from Ubu, but that is Savage Plus. Fish is hard on himself, but the reality of the situation is he's got a lot of experience. He's been in several Savage tiers on release. Same as me.
Zavi, hi!
And would probably be qualified to help teach casting summoner at the very
I'm in
least.
raiding school.
If nothing else.
We learning how to raid and fight monsters. Oh shit. All right.
Once you're done, you can just kind of hang and vibe out here and what is this? The Carline Canopy? Pick a table, pick a spot. Once you've finished all three. I feel like Revan's gonna be finished soon. So.
I'm doing good. Taking some classes today. We're gonna learn how to fight high-end monsters in raids. How's school going? So far so good. We're doing the basics for right now. So after we done the basics, we probably gonna go straight to fuckery. Maybe. It's gonna be like some kind of wind-up, so we have like some kind of warning.
We didn't hold you back, Mia. Listen, I just wasn't sure how to categorize you. I don't know. I've had you fill so many times. I don't know why it doesn't stick. Like, cause you really come in and just be like doing the thing. I don't ever think about it, honestly.
Ah, the wire. Is that a bomb? This marker. Unlike proximity tether, this can be intercepted, allowing you to sustain a blow now that they have. Three, 2, 1. Get the money. There's one. So you gotta defend against Jay's attacks. When the spell is cast, those facing its direction will suffer some amount of a blizzard effect. In this case, petrification. Fortunately, the only solution is simple. You only need to turn away from the enemy to neutralize its effects entirely. Turn around, And don't get fucking bumped, nigga. Get some big ass fish gloves. I should turn them purple.
I don't understand this one.
Well, which one are you on? Are you
The
able?
binding one.
Okay.
Oh,
So-
never mind.
Okay. Okay.
I'm
Okay.
like, how am I supposed to? I'm not a healer. How am I supposed to get out of this bind? Like, oh,
there's
they did it for me.
there's an NPC healer. You have to wait for him to do it.
Okay.
He's slow.
As molasses, bro. Oh my gosh. But it is
I'm
still
like-
plenty of time.
I was like, wait a minute. How am I supposed to get out of this? I'm not a healer.
I love that the NPCs are as slow as they are because it does kind of force you to slow down, which I think is where a lot of people get anxious or angsty about like higher end stuff is they feel like they have to go fast. Which, to be fair, yes, most of those instances are at a faster
Ridiculously
speed,
fucking
but by
time.
simply slowing down a little bit and just paying attention,
Suck your sweet-
you end up moving faster than you realize. So I love that they're like the slowest thing. Like one of my favorite things, honestly. All right. Some of you guys should be finishing up or finished by now. If you finished, you should have gotten a nifty little trinket called a... God, what is this called? A Neophyte's Ring. This can actually give you an XP bonus. So if you have classes that you haven't leveled yet, this will work up to level 60 to give you a 30% boost in any XP for any instances that you get. So you got a little trinket out of getting this. Hang on to that. It is valuable if you are still leveling your classes. I'm going to keep mine despite the fact that all of my classes are maxed, because when they introduce a new class, who knows what level it will start at, and I might end up needing that. So I would suggest you do the same.
Because the
Once-
level 5 sucks.
Yes, it does.
Do they stack actually with the rings? And
They
with the
can,
earrings?
yes.
Yeah, they can.
They can.
Oh, that's
Mhm.
cool. I didn't know
They
that.
stack with the other accessories and with food and any FC buffs that you have going if you are in a free company. They all stack on top of each other, so you can just fly through leveling classes.
I have a wireless headset, so I muted myself and get some
Totally
cookies and
fine.
stuff. And,
No worries.
One of the
Hold on, you
things
say
that
you
I
got
need.
cookies? Sorry.
Yeah, I shouldn't be. It's midnight, but I'm hungry. Also,
Hey, man.
Have cookies? Sound good,
what I was
bags.
gonna say. I see. I've joked I shouldn't be eating. I moved to Europe for work,
Mhm.
and one of the things that I needed to, because I didn't want to, I did transfer my character to an European server, but people are much nicer in A. So I came back with my husband, and one of the things we needed to, well, he's still there. He's gonna be there soon. It was the ping. So
Mm.
I have slightly high ping, but I had to learn how to adapt my timing. And the reason I'm saying that is 'cause maybe other people are also in the same situation and they are not in the US. So that would be cool to see how to adapt to the mechanic.
Since I
like-
am US based, I can't tell you timing specifically. I would probably be wrong, so I'm not even going to try to guess. By the way, if you ever go
I
try to
can.
learn from someone else, please find someone that is okay telling you if they don't know something. Somebody that
Yeah.
knows everything does not exist in this
Oh, no.
game, but
It's
tangent.
fine. I usually am
Um,
good at adapting to like seeing what you do,
For
seeing
you,
where I made a mistake and adapting.
for you, are you on PC or are you on console?
PC. Yeah.
Okay. There are a couple of tools that exist that can help with ping. One of them is called NoClippy, for example.
I have no
Um,
copy. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I was gonna say there's another one out there. I think it's like Alexander or something of that sort. I'll have to
It's
find it, but I can. Yeah, I was gonna
That
try
one I
and find
found
it.
it very hard to install, so I didn't want to dabble with it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Deshaun or Happy is a really good resource if you ever want to try again, just to see if it is of any more benefit to you. I would maybe just hit him up in his DMs. Perhaps he can take some time and walk you through it.
Right.
Is everyone back?
I'll go back on mute.
You said there was
Sorry.
only 3
Yeah, there's only the
courses,
3.
right? Okay.
If everyone is back. Oh no, Ami, so to answer your question, Beastmaster is gonna be like Blue Mage, basically. So when I say alt class or secondary class, that's what I mean. I apologize for my use of phrasing. If everyone is back, we're gonna just kind of expand upon what you have already learned. I'm gonna swap the screen that I'm sharing here. And in the interim, if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to ask them. I can see both the game chat and the Discord chat as well. If you have questions and don't want to verbalize audibly, feel free to throw them in. Blue Mage is actually an interesting tool, and I planned on touching on that a little bit once we were finished going through mechanics, because there are things that you can do to help familiarize yourself and get used to doing mechanics. And Blue Mage is actually one of those things, believe it or not. But we'll go over that in a little bit. So, this site that I have up right now is called Phoenix Uprising. On Phoenix Uprising, I managed to find this. I'm going to go ahead and put this in the Discord call for now, but I am also going to make a thread with resource and recap stuff, so it's not going to be lost forever. So don't necessarily worry or panic if you didn't get a chance to save the
I can
link.
pop it out.
But they have this page here. It's super helpful. And not only does it explain a lot of the mechanics you guys just saw with the Smith, but it goes over other ones in depth. So we're going to spend the next however long, probably 20 minutes or so, going over these as well. And just kind of discussing and talking about them. Because a lot of the game's mechs aren't new. They're not revolutionary. They're not something that was invented on the spot and they didn't come out of nowhere. They're built from these bones, from this base stuff that I just had you go through. And so when you were stepping foot into content blind and like you've never done it, never seen it before, you're armed with this knowledge off rip. And so when something pops up that might look a little different than what you're used to, you can go, oh, I remember seeing that here. Let me try this and see if it also works. And you'd be surprised at the number of times the answer is yes. So we're going to start with the markers because there are several different variations for them. They're pictured here, as you can see. I'm sure if you've played at the very least through Endwalker or up to Endwalker, you've seen all of these at some point or another. There are 3 important things that you want to keep in mind about these. They're unavoidable. There's nothing you can do to get it off of your head. There's no way for you to avoid it. It can be shielded if you have a shield healer, but you have damage incoming and there's not much that you can do to stop or change that for yourself. You will also often drop an AoE of some sort. That's area of effect. So the orange that you're used to seeing, you'll drop that at your feet. And that will typically become a standard thing that happens anytime you get a marker over your head. The third thing that you might see happen sometimes is that you'll leave behind an AoE that lasts for a couple of seconds or up to like a full minute. Sometimes it looks like a puddle of fire or like water or something like that. Those are the 3 things that you want to keep in mind anytime you get an AoE marker, such as the one pictured
Hold on,
here.
let me see something.
If that happens, safest route for you, just instinct-wise, move away from the group. This is not a stack marker. Stack markers are very, very distinct. You know what they look like. They're orange. They make that womp womp noise. These are not those. Most of the time, this is only designed to hurt you. And so you want to move away from the group just to make sure that if there is a puddle or something attached to it, you don't hurt the homies too, right? Any questions about any of the ones that you see here? Okay, I will move forward then.
Okay.
Chasing AoEs was covered in the Smith, so I'm not going to cover those too much. This just tells you where you encounter them first on this page here, but it's the one with the tail. You'll often hear raiders refer to it as, I have a trail, I have a tail, I've got this thing, I've got to go bait. And that just to bait means to just put it somewhere in a really ordered fashion. There are numbered icons that you will get in game. Sometimes they look like swords, like the one pictured here. Sometimes they look like little dice indicators. Yoshi P is a big fan of using, if you look at like the face of a dice from a board game, using the dots as indicators. These will indicate when it is your turn to be hit. So a lot of times half of your team or all of your team will get numbers of some sort. If you have a 1, you're going to be the first one to be hit. If you have a 2, you're going to be the second, 3, third, so on and such forth. These are also unavoidable, and sometimes will have AoEs that accompany them. So you want to take into account the rules we just covered with these up here and assume that they will also apply to numbers as well. This one is called an Earth Shaker. It's kind of its own little dude because you don't see them too often, or we haven't seen them very often since Heaven's Word, but they do pop up from time to time, so I do want you to know what it looks like. The reason that this one is not sitting with the others is because that it does a cone AoE. So if you get this over your head, you don't want to make sure that you're going away from the group. You want to make sure that you're also pointing away from the group too, that no one is behind you if you can help it. Running to the edge of the arena and pointing it outwards is a really good common way that people will resolve Earth Shakers. They're kind of one-offs, and like I said, I haven't seen a whole lot of them personally since like Heaven's Word, but that doesn't mean they won't come back. So this is why I'm taking the time to go over them. Another complex one that you'll get as far as a marker is called a flare. It looks like this. They're all over the place. They're still relevant. This is the opposite of a stack marker. So if you get this on your group, you want to go as far away from the group as you possibly can. Because it's going to do damage outwards and not necessarily on you. So you become the proximity. You guys just did the Smith. You know what proximity markers are. You are the proximity marker if you have one of these. So you want to move your body away from the fight, away from the group in that case. Prey markers. These are very interesting, and they often come with unique mechanics. Most of the time, putting UCOB aside, prey markers like this will not leave behind an AoE, but they can. So same rules apply. This is a marker. You can't avoid it. Take it away from the group. Sometimes these are passable. So you can run in front of or next to another homie and it will move on to them instead. Does that make sense?
Damn.
If you are planning on playing healer for raiding or just in general and you see someone with a prey marker, you may want to give them a little extra love, maybe an extra heal or shield, because these tend to do more damage than normal markers, if that makes any sense at all. Any questions so far? Flares do suck. I agree with you. Hi, Mia. Yes.
I also agree. Flares suck.
Can I stack the stack markers? Sometimes, but no, do not stack the stack markers.
Normally, you don't want to stack them.
The Smith told you not to. Don't do it. All right, we're gonna move on to this one because this is the one that I see. The next two are the ones that I see mess people up a lot. They're called acceleration bombs. Did any of you guys do the Fallout crossover event at the Gold Saucer?
No.
Where you ran through the hurdles or the mazes at all?
I am familiar with these this marker though. Sometimes it does confuse. I am familiar with this marker.
Okay.
Sometimes I don't know. Am I supposed to stand still? Am I supposed to move? I always get that confused.
And that's the beauty of it. So the picture doesn't highlight it very well, and I kind of wish I would have gotten footage of one, but this is actually a cube. It's not a square or a rectangle like it might look right now, and it's naked here, but this is a cube. Think of a dice, of a 6-sided dice. That's what you get over your head. It is going to have a countdown in it. It's going to have that 6-sided dice kind of numbering system, as well as the little swirls around your body. That is how you can see what an acceleration bomb is. Additionally, this little guy right here, which it's super tiny. I don't know if you guys can see that. You'll get that next to your name in your party list. That signifies that you have an acceleration bomb. When that dice gets to 1, stop. Do not target anything. Do not move. Do not hit. Do not just freeze. Just freeze.
Press
The
skip.
countdown, yes. The countdown, untarget whatever it is you're fighting. You have a countdown, so it'll be like 5, 4, 3, and you'll hear the noise too. It'll make a little chime noise as the dice is turning. When you get to 1, you need to not be targeting anything. You need to not be moving, and you need to not be attacking. Acceleration bombs are the one that I see people get tripped up with a lot. And what happens is if you don't follow the stop moving rule, you will blow up. It's a bomb. So you will see your character be launched into the air and you kind of get ragdolled onto the ground. And everybody that I know is like, what just happened? It was an acceleration bomb. To not have that happen to you, you need to not. Just stop playing the game, basically. Hands up. And I tell people to de-target because you do end up with the rare occasion where if you are still targeted on that boss and you throw an auto attack, that counts. And it will still blow you up. So just de-target, stop moving. Yes, there are acceleration bombs in Vanguard. That is correct.
Yeah, I'll say it's in Vanguard also.
Vanguard is a really good place to practice with these. They do come up, and I've been seeing them come up more and more frequency as expansions come out. So this is one that you're going to want to keep. If the Fall Guys event comes back, and I think that it's supposed to at some point, this is a great place to practice how you handle acceleration bombs and when you stop and when you go, because you can do it in there without a penalty, right? Nobody dies. You're playing a game with the Gold Saucer. But it's in the Fall Guys event, and I thought that was one of the funniest things in the world for me. It doesn't
I was
roll a
happy
D.
with it.
If it rolls a D20, then that means you get 20 seconds to stop. And same rule applies. Stop moving when it gets to 1. Yes, it is basically
Nice.
red light, green light, correct. Use Z on your keyboard to put your weapon up to prevent the auto attacks. That's also a good trick. It's all about finding what works for you. There's a lot of ways to do it. For me, I just straight up detarget and just stop moving.
Yeah, same.
I play on controller, so I'll hit, escape or B on my controller to just take my target off, and then I just stop moving.
I'm a master keyboard. I just stop everything.
Yep, you just gotta stop doing stuff.
Respect the mechanic.
The next one is also an instance of respect the mechanic. It's called polarity. I call this one fun with magnets, or just magnets, I will say a lot of times if I'm doing calls for something. And as you can see here, the page also agrees with me. Magnets, how do they work? Is everybody here familiar with how a magnet works? If you're not, that's fine. No shade, no judgment. But is everybody here familiar with how a magnet works? How it has a positive and a negative side to it?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is that, just in game form. If you have a minus and the person you are tethered to has a plus, you guys are going to go towards each other when this goes off. If you both have pluses or you both have minuses, you're going to go away from each other. So depending upon what's over your head and what your tether is attached to, that is how you are going to want to move. You will also see polarity symbols on the floor sometimes. If any of you have done the Evilist raids, the last boss for the second Alliance raid, the floor turns into plus minuses and you also get one over your head. Same concept. It's magnets. So polarity is another one that I see people mess up a lot, and for all intents and purposes in normal content, most of the time it will not get you killed, but you do take a lot of damage and that makes your healer sad. So, practice fun with magnets whenever you see this come up, and do your best to adhere to the rules so that you don't get pushed into a wall or into somebody else or something like that. Those are the two biggest. Acceleration bombs and polarities are the ones that I really wanted you guys to pay attention to out of the marker section of this, because everything that we've gone through in this section is just overhead markers right here. So we've got countdowns. We know that Yoshi P likes to use the dice configuration of like a 6-sided die for the numbers. So you end up counting dots a lot of the time. It does take some practice. There's a raid mechanic that happens a lot called limit cut. I'm not going to get into it, but trust me, you'll get used to counting numbers like dice. Let's back it up and go into the next section with mobilized and cooperate mechanics, I should say. This is the one that you guys saw when you went through the smith. This is your little stack marker friend, right? Everybody knows what this means. Get in the circle. One of the things that I see overlooked and not explained oftentimes is that as long as you are in the circumference of the circle, see this little faint line right here, you count. So if the stack marker is off of a boss, but the edge of the circle is close enough that you can keep hitting, stand at the edge of the circle. You do not have to be piled on top of one another, inside of one another for it to count. It's going to hit everything in that little circle there. So keep that in mind when you go into instances. There is a different type of stack marker that they don't show you in the Smith, and that is this. This is just a beam. It's the same concept, same principle. You need to be in between the lines or in between the arrows, and it's going to beam everybody that's in there. Fun fact about this one, you do not have to literally be in between the arrows. You could be further up or further back, and you will still count as a body as long as you are in the path of the beam. So something to keep in mind if you see this one come up somewhere. Meteor circles, you guys might have saw this going through the towers section of the Smith. No, you can't stack markers. Remember the analysis paralysis first time I ran Tower of Babel? Yeah, and that's why we're going through these as slowly as we are. It's gonna feel like a lot of information today, but I'm gonna give it to you guys when we're done so you can reference back at any point in time. Make yourself little cheat sheets, whatever you gotta do to get used to it. Yeah, anyway, towers. You saw these with the Smith. There are different other types of towers. This is one that you might run into. This is a tower. This is another one that you might run into. This is also a tower. One of the things that they don't explain in the Smith is that sometimes towers require a certain number of bodies in them for it to count. You won't see this if that is the case. More often than not, you'll see something that looks like this. If you notice, it's got 4 little squares there and like 3 little circles around that. They'll light up when it has enough bodies in it, if that makes any sense. So if there's one person here, only one side would be lit up. And so you have to continue to add bodies to that tower to make sure that you satisfy the tower's like requirements. So that is one that you will see down the line too, but towers were explained in the Smith. Outside of that, I don't want to say anything else. This is one that I see people mess up a lot. It's usually called a prey marker identifier for the sake of not confusing you because we just saw prey on the last set. We'll call it the buddy system or friendship Dorito. If you get an arrow like this over your head, you need to find someone else with an arrow like this over their head and give them a hug until the arrow goes away. You need to stay stacked on top of that person. And that one, you do need to be on top of them. You can't be next to them. You can't be in front of them or behind them. You need to be right on top of one another. Otherwise, you're going to get the result that you typically get with an acceleration bomb where it blows you up and you go flying into the air. Friendship Doritos. Stack your chips is the best way to remember this one. Hide mechanics are a lot like stack markers, except for you're not supposed to get hit with them. Okay, thank you for stopping by, Deshaun. I see you later. I hate how they changed the markers on Nier to Dorito. Friends that eat Doritos together stay together is a really good way to remember that, Revan. Thank you.
Yeah, that's how I remembered it.
Mm-hmm. Friendship,
like,
share your chips.
Share your
chips. Share your Doritos. Hiding, these are usually pretty obvious when they happen. Most of the time when you're in a fight, there isn't something else besides you and the boss in that arena. If you end up with a rock or a pillar or a tower of some sort that's like an object and you see the boss casting a lot, it's probably a mechanic where you need to hide. Biggest and best example of this everybody in here has been through, it is in Crystal Tower, where you have to hide behind the rock for both Behemoth and for, oh my god, why is his name escaping me right now? You know, yes, thank you, Amon. Yeah, it's Amon. For Amon and Behemoth, those are the biggest examples. It's just a hide mechanic. If you don't hide, you die. You also have to do it at the last boss, I think, where Amon is too. Oh yeah, and Ice. There's lots of examples of this. The earliest, I think, is Garuda, actually. So there's big rock towers in Garuda. She'll disappear off the map, and when she comes back, she's not targetable. It's time to hide, is what that means. Summoning circles. This one I see get confused, not super often, but often enough that I am willing to explain it. You will get a circle on the ground. That circle will not have any lights on. It'll look something like this. with a chain around it. That means that something is being summoned into that circle. To stop the summoning, you need to add bodies to the circle until you satisfy the light requirements. And that will stop the summoning. So if you see one of these pop up with the chains and there's some little circles on the inside, the number of little circles on the inside is how many people need to be in it to make the summoning stop. So that is it for this section for stacking and cooperative mechanics. They do get more complex as time goes along, but most of them will be based off of the stuff that I have covered here. It will look similar or follow the basic premise. So we'll move on to the next section, which is crowd control and movement mechs. These are fun. I see these a lot, especially in the later expansions, Shadowbringers On. And so I really want to go through them with you guys. The Smith taught you about gazes and shrieks. Just to add to that, sometimes you don't have to turn away. You just have to not be in the orange. So if you find one of these with an eye and there's an orange on the ground, you're fine. Keep doing what you're doing, just don't be in the bad. That's all that boils down to. Sometimes they're on players. Same premise as the Smith taught you, just don't look at that player. Don't be facing that player when that happens. If you are a, oh my gosh, what is it, caster? If you're a caster or a ranged, this is really easy to accomplish. The rest of your party will hug in on the boss while you just back up. That way their backs are to you and they can keep doing what they're doing, with the exception of like the main tank, who will have to turn away for half a second, but they will know that, so you're fine. Binding and imprisonment. You saw it a little bit in the Smith with the tiny little orange circle around your feet, but it can also look like this, or like this, or any other number of things. There's something called a debuff that you really need to be paying attention to when it comes to binds. We're going to cover debuffs on a different day, so I don't want you to stress too much about it, but they are resolved the same way that the Smith taught you. Either you need to move out of the bad after you are freed, or other people need to free you before you die. Knockbacks. These were covered in the Smith, so I'm not going to go through them. Same with chains and tethers. These were also covered in the Smith. The only thing I'm going to tell you about chains and tethers that the Smith did not is sometimes they look like this. You notice how this actually looks more like a chain? If this is happening, I know it's going to scare you. I know it's going to seem counterintuitive. Run towards each other first so that the chain is small, because this one you need to break. So you're going to run towards each other. You're going to get chained. You'll hear a chain noise. It sounds like shackles. And then once that goes off, run away from each other, and that breaks the chain. If a chain is not broken, sometimes bad things will happen. You will continue to get hit by AoEs or things like that, unavoidable damage the longer you're tethered or chained. So this is the only one that I wanted to point out. If you want to see it in action and you have been through Heavensward, the Vault has them at the final boss. I would encourage you to grab a friend, go in there, check that out for yourself, see how it works.
I'm sorry, Spoken. Repeat that one more time. So you're not supposed to go separate. You're supposed to hug each other?
At first, yes. So oftentimes when the chain looks like this, there will be a really long cast bar and you'll hear like a shackles noise. You know how people rattle chains like in scary movies and stuff? You'll hear that. If you're standing next to each other when that noise happens, you're then going to run away.
Okay.
Because the idea or the concept behind these is to break them. So you're still running away like the Smith said when you were talking about tethers. But this one specifically, you need to be breaking. Go through the vault, do the last boss, sickness must be purged, that guy. He does this mechanic, and a lot of people don't notice or pay attention to it, and it naturally gets broken because at the time that it happens, I think you're killing ads, so your attention is elsewhere. But I want you to go in there, do the last boss, specifically looking for this, and trying to resolve it. A little bit of homework on the side if you're curious about that one, because I think the vault is the first place that it shows up. You'll also get these variations that the Smith talked about. You just need to make the tether purple. In most cases. Heavensward has weird shit, but you want the tether to look like this. The tether needs to be purple and smooth, not spiky. These we are going to talk about. Because the way that the Smith taught you to resolve tethers is still accurate here, but sometimes it is inevitable. You're carrying something with you with this. And that something will do something. You've seen this in Crystal Tower more often than not, where people get frozen and you have like a fire tether and you have to free them with that. Try not to hit homies with these. So if you're running away from it, run outside of the group or run in a direction that avoids the group. As you get better at avoiding the group, you'll get better at knowing where you can go to get bind and still like get help and stuff like that. But if you hit people with these, sometimes it does to them what it intended to do to you. And in some cases, that's not a good thing. So if you get one and whatever you're tethered to is moving towards you, just try not to hit the homies without getting hit yourself. They can sometimes look like this also, in which case they do need to be hit on purpose to free your friend. Case by case basis with these. You can also get these enemy to enemy objects where they're tethered to each other and not you. This just means kill whatever is attached to them before they touch each other. They're not allowed to hug. So if this ever pops up anywhere, just, you know, these are probably targeted on either end, targetable on either end. Just go ahead and burn those down so they don't hurt each other.
Okay, cool.
And then the little men in Juno.
I put in spoilers because I didn't know how.
Yeah, that's why I muttered it. I don't know. Yes? No? That's unavoidable. So I mean, you can try. Let me know what happens if you try.
No, I don't think you can shift them to other people, but they are the mechanics is just not a ball. It's just a little man running after you, and you have to run.
Oh well, then
until
yes.
they
In
go
that
away.
case, yes. Because they're more like the dolls that you get in the Alexander raids. In that case,
I don't
so
think
yes.
you can I'll try that next time. I haven't gotten a little man, but I'll try to.
They aren't always passable. Sometimes whatever is tethered to you is just destined for you, and you just got to do what you got to do. Just try not to hit the homies for whatever AOE or whatever comes out after the fact.
I'm gonna throw my husband and chase him next time.
That sounds delightful. Let me know how it turns out. So you get proximity tethers. This is the spiky one that you saw in the Smith. Notice it has an AOE attached to it as well. Ignore this. If you are the one that is tethered, ignore the floor shit. It has nothing to do with you. That's just telling your friends that if they stand there, they're gonna get mowed down. That's what that's for.
Okay.
If you are not the one tethered, don't stand in the bad. Same rules apply. But you'll stretch this the same way you normally would. The floor thing is just there to scare you if you are the one tethered. Sometimes they do stuff that's designed specifically to scare. This is one instance of that. There are beneficial tethers. We're not going to necessarily get into them today, but just so that you know, if it's green or blue and attached to you, it's probably fine, unless it's ice. So I'll say if it's green and it's attached to you, it's probably fine. That's probably a more accurate thing. Don't freak out. They've taken a lot of the beneficial tethers out of the game, though. I think only Paladin and Scholar have them now. Dragoon used to have one, and it was red, and it scared people, and they removed it, so, like, you don't have to worry about it. But there are beneficial tethers. These you can escape. You can escape from the Paladin one, but you don't. It's saving your life. Icy Floor. This wasn't covered in the Smith, so I'm gonna ask anybody if they would like an explanation about it. I think most of us have found out the hard way what Icy Floor does, but just in
I know
case.
what it does.
Yes, that would be correct. Okay. So if we know what Icy Floor does, I don't need to delve into it. The one thing I will tell you is that it is always a set distance, and that depends on the instance you're in. So you don't just move at random intervals. It's always a set distance. Sometimes you can figure out how to use that to your advantage. The other thing I will tell you is that some movement abilities will bypass the effects of Icy Floor. Ninjas does, and I believe Reapers does as well. Ninja and Reaper can use their movement abilities during an Icy Floor and be fine. You're not going to slide. Would not recommend test. I mean, you can try it as a Dancer or a Viper, but, you know, let me know how it works out. Forced March is a tough one. They did not give us a picture of what this looks like, and that is because it's a debuff. This is one that I see introduced early in the game, but most people don't understand what is happening to them when it happens. As I've said before, we're gonna cover debuffs on a different day. But basically Forced March is a countdown, and when the countdown gets to 0, you're gonna move in the direction that the debuff is pointing. That's how you have to think about that. We're gonna cover this a different day, so I don't want you to get too hung up on it. In my mind, this is a debuff and not a mech, so we'll talk about it when we talk about the debuffs. Any questions?
I'm good for right now.
I'm seeing some typing, so I'll pause for a moment. Siren Song, I think, is the first place it's introduced. Can you go to the bathroom? You don't even need to be here. Yes, go to the bathroom. That's crazy. That's Rain, everybody. Rain is one of them. Go right ahead.
I wanted to point out that I didn't know. See, you can be playing for 5 years and you don't know anything. I've been playing for 3 and I did. That the AoE on the floor with the tether wasn't for you. Because I was always scared that I always move away because there's a tether. But then that AoE on the floor always confused me, and now I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it's doing exactly what it's supposed to do. If you are the one that is tethered, that doesn't. It's just gonna follow where you go. You can't escape it. It's just letting your homies know not to stand there. That's all it is. Yeah, they're tricky like that. Greg is making soup. Nice. All right, we're gonna go over the AoEs. AoEs are the orange on the floor, the bad, the orange, the ick. Don't stand in the ick, don't stand in the bad, get out of the orange, yada, 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 yada. You know what these look like. You've seen them time and time again. They're not new. You get cones, you get lines, you get circles, fun stuff. Tracking line AoE. Same premise as the tethers, believe it or not. There is nothing you can do to not be hit here. But it's not for you, it's for your teammates. So don't freak out, just make sure that you know, since it's for your teammates, if you have control of it, you can move it out of the way. That's all you need to know with these. It's the same as the tethers. You've got some fancy AoE variations. They look like this. They're all orange. I know they're not all literally orange, but they're all orange. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
This is all the same shit. Don't stand in the bad. This one with the blue lines is particularly confusing, and I'll explain why when we get down to that section, but this is also bad. If it's coming from an enemy's body, it's probably bad. Just don't stand in it. Radial and proximities were covered by the smith, so I'm not going to delve into those. Run away from them. Sometimes they can be on you, in which case drop them away from the homies. Like this one here. This is a proximity that's on a player. Drop it away from the homies and you're fine. Rotating AoEs. The arrows are what you want to pay attention to in this situation. Like obviously the orange and the bad, but the arrows in the direction that they are spinning will tell you which direction this is getting ready to move to. So typically standing behind it is better than standing in front of it, if that makes any sense. We'll talk a little bit about those in a second too. Starbursts are one that I see people get slipped up with often because it doesn't extend the actual length and duration that it is firing off at. This telegraphs the direction that the AoEs are going to shoot out in. They can be as long or as short as they want to be. So the best way to avoid these is to be in the crevice, be in the triangle, because they will grow as pictured here. And if you are standing further out, but still in between the rectangle part, you're going to get hit. So find a triangle on those and stand in that. Starbursts trip a lot of people up, so, you know. Puddles! As a Fizz ranged, puddles are one of my favorites. I'm more than familiar with them. Puddles are AoEs that don't go away, and if you stand in them, they add more bad. They can be fire, they can be water, they can be poison, they can be ice, they can be anything, but they are bad. Don't stand in the bad and don't stay in the bad. Sometimes you will get an AoE marker that will drop a puddle. Same rules apply. Take it away from the group, but quickly move out of it also. Once the indicator is off your body, move back to the group as fast as you can. That way, if it was a puddle, you're not getting any added damage. There are beneficial puddles, bubbles, starburst from Astro, things like that. They are what they are. If they scare you, it's fine. Best thing I can tell you, and this is where that confidence piece comes into play, is be curious about puddles a little bit, but not too curious. Stand in them long enough to see if the number that's coming on your body is green or red. If it's green, you're fine. If it's red, move. If there isn't a number, like in the case of Doton or Salted Earth, you're chilling. But the site will tell you what all of the player puddles are here. So once you get the link to this, you may want to peruse those so that you know what it is. Occasionally, AoE puddles will be good. They're not pictured here, and I'm not really sure why. But they're blue when that happens. So they're very basic, very similar like this, except for blue instead of orange. Those are from friendlies. Those are friendly puddles. You may not want to avoid those ones. Any questions about anything we've covered? I used to run away from the summoner circles. I see players run away from good stuff all the time. It's funny.
This site is amazing. I am snatching it.
Yep. Like I said, I'm going to do a thread with a recap review links for everything that we go over today. This will be on there as well. I am not one to hoard resources from people. I think that's really silly, and I don't understand why that happens sometimes. So you won't catch me doing it, if that makes any sense. What's your question, Splash?
Sorry, it would take me too long to really type it out, but my question involves the AoEs that tracks. Is it possible? Do they track me if I move forward or backwards?
Ooh, that's a good question. I'm glad you asked. So, AoE puddles that trace you, the trails or the tails that chase you.
I think it's the trails, yeah.
There's two types. There are precise ones, and then there are general direction ones. Both will track whatever direction you go, but I get what you're getting at. So let's say you have a tail and you move forward, and then it drops the orange like it did at the Smith, and then you move behind it so that you're just moving left to right, right? Sometimes that does work. I would not recommend it for a tail that you have never encountered before, because some of those tails are very fast and they do not care. Prime example is Crystal Tower World of Darkness. There's actually a tail mechanic in that last fight when you're fighting the Cloud of Darkness. She gives the player the tail, the player runs away, and then it's just rapid succession lightning strikes. You can't play that game with those. You will die.
Damn.
So my suggestion to you would be, if it's a tail, handle it traditionally until you figure out whether or not you can do the back and forth. As a dancer myself, someone who is high mobility, I like to do the back and forth because it leaves the arena open. You plan on playing caster in Raid, if memory serves correctly. So for you, back and forth would be great, right? Because then you don't have to run all over and you can continue to cast in between. Solve it the traditional way. If you figure out that you can get away with going back and forth, do it. That would be my advice in that suggestion, or in that category. I'm not going to go through the last two sections of this because it covers debuffs and kind of miscellaneous stuff that you might see in like Savages and Markers and like Raid Speak, which we are going to go over at some point during class. So we may revisit this guide, but today we're going to leave these last two sections alone. Feel free to peruse them yourself if you want. There's nothing stopping you when I give you the link to stuff there. So that's something to keep in mind in that regard. Thunder God by bad experience. Ayada.
Yeah, I try to do the back and forth.
Mm-hmm. It's always fun, and if it works, you feel amazing, right? But
Yeah.
it doesn't always work with the tails. So I always tell folks, do it the traditional way until you figure out whether or not you can get away with it. We're gonna talk about some complex stuff now. I have not pulled a bunch of universal examples of how these basic mechs can be put together, but I did pull some and I made a video, and that's what we're gonna watch and kind of go through here in a second. All of the basic mechs that you saw at the Smith today can be paired up with other basic mechs to make something way more complex than it would have been originally. And a lot of times with extremes, Savages, and ultimates, that is what is happening. They're taking 4 to 5 basic mechs, mushing them together, and then going, all right, resolve it. And you will see examples of that, not necessarily in high end, but all throughout the game. The further into the expansions you get, you start to see them. Endwalker has a bunch, Dawn Trail has a bunch, the variant dungeons have a bunch. There's places in game that have them that aren't considered like, oh, I'm a raider, I'm a sweaty places. So I have taken some examples from one of the variant dungeons, and I've put the video together, and we're just gonna kind of go through it. I have it pulled up here ready. So if you are watching my screen, perfect, you're already ready to go. If you are not watching my screen, you should be watching my screen.
Please and thank you.
I'm gonna do a lot of pausing to explain here. And at one point, because Lix, one of our other raid teachers, pointed this out, at one point we're gonna jump ahead and then jump back, just because she pointed out that the flow may not make sense. But yeah, we're gonna go through that now. Did you guys need a 5-minute break or anything before we start, or do you want to keep going?
I think I'm good.
Okay. Perfect. Wonderful. I know I'm throwing a lot of information at you guys at once, so I always like to ask. All right, so I put this together. Complex knockbacks. Pause this here for a second. The Smith showed you what knockbacks look like. I'm going to show you an example of what that can look like on a complex level. There are 2 ways to resolve them safely. The first is to run close and be pushed back. You learned that in the Smith. The second involves one of your roll abilities, which I'm going to play the section and then we'll talk about it a little bit more, okay? Ready? Here we go. All right, so if you notice, the knockback symbols are not on the floor for this. They are on the individual markers. As you're playing through, you can see them here. They still have the same floor pattern that you saw in the Smith, but they're up. They're on these little indicators telling you, the player, where to stand. It also tells you, the player, what order to stand at them in. So if you look, see the one? This is what I meant about the dice counting that Yoshi P is super fond of. This is a 1. The next one in tow will have a 2 on it. See it hanging out all the way over there in the back behind the enemy? And then the last one has a 3 on it. So this tells me, as the player, I know what a knockback is. I have to go towards it, it's gonna push me back. Oh, there's 3 of them. 1, 2, 3. I can count, right? Kinda, some days. Talking about me. So I'm gonna stand here first, here second, and then at the other one, third. Like so. 1, 2, 3. Complex mechanic solved, right? I didn't die, I didn't hit a death wall, I'm still up, I got most of my health. I did take a little bit of damage from the attacking portion, but we're good, we're in the fight. There's a second way to get around this, and it's my personal favorite, even though I play a high mobility class. Casters, you may want to pay close attention here. You're gonna love this. You have a roll ability. Every class in the game that can go into PvE combat has a roll ability. It is called a knockback invuln. For physical players, it's called arm's length. For magical players, it's called surecast. Both of these things will keep you from moving if that is active. So I'm gonna let the video play a little bit more. You can see option 2. Use your roll ability to prevent being moved. So if you time it properly, towards the end of the cast here, see this little circle? You're gonna press your roll ability. This is the physical one because I'm on Dancer. And you should cover most, if not all, of the knockbacks. In this case, it was most because I waited a little longer to push it than I needed to. So if I would have pushed this a little bit sooner, it would have covered all 3. But because of me timing it, and it is a skill, it's an art, not a science, by the way, I missed the first one. And in case of missing the first one, because I suspected I might, just based on my own ability, I stood near the first marker anyway. You'll also notice that I will still run towards the markers in question. That is just me safety gaming, because if it wears off before the jumps are done, you're going to get pushed, right? So we'll play this one more time, keeping these things in mind. So I still stand kind of near them. That way, if I get pushed, I'm not going to get thrown out of the arena. You can tell that it's active by looking wherever, and this will be different from person to person. Mine are up here, yours are probably not up here. We'll go over rearranging your HUD a different day. But you can tell if it's still active because you'll have a little buff that mimics the symbol that's on your button with a little timer underneath it. And so that's how you know if you're safe or not. I encourage people to use the knockback invuln because it allows you to position yourself for whatever is coming next ahead of time, especially if you are playing a caster. So one more time, just for the sake of everything. Option 1, run towards the correct number each time. I'm safe. Nothing bad happened. Option 2, use my invuln so that I don't gotta worry about it. This doesn't apply to me. I'm just not gonna participate, right? Done deal. Both options keep me alive and in the fight. Questions?
Until you find out the knockback can't be immune.
Right. That's a complex
What's up,
complex
Kibo?
knockback. This was just to give you an
We're
idea
checking,
of
rating
what
class
I
today.
mean when I say complex mechanics. It's a mechanic that uses more than one technique or introduces something in a way that you may not recognize. My next bit of advice to you, when you're in a new space with mechanics that you don't recognize, would be to examine your arena. I have an ultra wide, so I cheat a little bit, even though this is not an ultra wide perspective. But it's looking not just at the boss, not just at your player, not just at your buttons, but the walls behind and around you as well. Right now, something is happening, right? What is all this shit? These are arrows. The arrows look like bad. Bad is forming on the edge, right? I'm having this fight over here, and it's got arrows pointing in directions. I don't know what this is, but if I had to guess, it's gonna move the bad in those directions. So I look and see, where can I be safe while it does this? I've got some spots here. Those look like they line up. All right, cool. I'm chilling. Nothing bad happened to me. Questions about that before we move on?
Play that back one more time, because actually this fight always confused me.
Absolutely. The key is examining your arena, as I've said before. You've got to be aware of the space around where you're fighting, not just the fight itself. So this is going to be the point where we start to mush stuff together, paying attention to your surroundings, using different buttons, things like that. I'm going to cover rotating AoEs a little bit in depth here. I think I said that I was going to earlier, so you can actually see how they play out in motion, because I know that they're covered, but they're not covered. So this is just me highlighting rotating AoEs. It makes that noise. Make a note of the noise. Look at the arrows and see what direction they're turning in. And then find the safe spot between the two of them. And just mosey. It's really what it boils down to most of the time. Being behind the spinning and not in front of it is the key here. Rain. Rotating AoEs can also have their own complexity to them. Instead of the AoE itself, it can be the boss. Look at this shit, right? This don't make no sense. What the fuck's going on here? Let's look in our bag and figure out what we figured out today, right? There's a couple of different things to take in and pay attention to. We've got some bad on the ground, right? This is a lot of fucking bad. Holy shit, that's scary. We've got a countdown timer going here with our traditional little dice method, but we also have these arrows, right? So we've got a countdown timer combined with arrows and a bunch of bad. If you had to guess, left or right, which direction do you think the safe spot is moving to?
Right.
Left.
All right, let's play it and find out. Whoever said right, you were correct. It takes some getting used to, so don't feel bad if you guess wrong. I guess wrong.
Oh
and
no,
I've
because
cleared ultimates.
again, this boss always kicked my tail. I could never figure it out. So I was never, I could never figure this boss fight out, like
So,
ever. I don't
we'll
know if
break it
I even
down.
beat it before.
The easiest tell is that the direction the arrows are going is to the right. If you look, like hold your hands up left and right, they're not going left, they're going right. It's also got this little nipple thing here that also rotates right too. And then you just have to get to where you need to be within a safe amount of time. It's just a matter of keeping a cool head, looking at what's going on, identifying what you can identify, and then testing it out. Pro tip for my melees, you'll notice when he does this shit, where is it? I'm gonna find one that's more visible. His hitbox is in the safe zone. So the closer you are to him, the easier it is for you to move into position. There is no need to run away. If you're a melee player, look and see if you can still hit this, whatever it is you're fighting, without running away. 80% of the time, shit, I'll say 85, 90% of the time, you can. There's a safe spot for you, a special little park for melees to go play in where they can do what they gotta do without having to stop hitting. We'll play it one more time so you can see what I mean. See it? Didn't go anywhere. There's no need to peel. You can continue to hit and slide. You actually have shorter distance to go because you're not all the way back. Questions? Can I run it back, please? Yeah, I can run
Play
it
it
back.
one more time.
Yeah, this is good for it's good information for casters too. The closer you are to the boss, the easier it is for you to get to the safe spot a lot of the time. I'm just gonna put it to you like that. So if you look, his circle, you can't really see under my cast bar, but his circle is right there. And it's just right there. So if you are in his hitbox when that went off, you would just have to nudge yourself to the right. And that's it. You can keep doing what you're doing. I have
This
another
part
example.
Definitely confused me.
Yeah, I would say I have another example here. This is the same as the first one. It's just happening to you instead of him. I'm gonna jump ahead a little bit because I realize a lot of people don't know donut or show hole. So this was the piece that my co-teacher pointed out. I should show off first. This is a common mechanic. It doesn't really get introduced until I think the Evilist raids, but you get a circle around you and the circle got a bite taken out of it, right? Show hole is what this means. All that means is the open bite needs to be pointed at the boss for it to be resolved. See? I'll run it back. We'll start here.
I didn't know.
You position your body so that the hole is facing the boss. And that's how you stay safe.
Huh.
So the complex mechanic that we see out of Homie first, where he's got all this shit on the ground, right? Pattern recognition. He did it to himself. Now he's doing it to us. It's the same puzzle, just on our body instead. You're playing a game of Simon Says, basically, right? Same thing. Show hole. And that's how you stay alive. There are mechanics, complex ones, that are designed to force you to stop hitting. Respect the mechanic, stop hitting. Because if you don't, you can end up
Facts. Flame
getting
do not
hurt.
play that shit.
But this is the basic
You get on my
version of
fucking
that. You'll
nerves,
see
bro.
that oftentimes, and I think Rob Nasty is where it comes up
We
first.
still haven't even played
The
2XKO.
Evilist
Yeah, I was gonna type.
Like, the pack
this-
is wild,
this
I will
one
say
is
that,
going to
but
me
we know he
easier
not
to
getting
see
on.
because in the Ravenasty he's up.
Yep.
So-
I'm
you have
happy
to
you're
go
excited,
looking
but you
for
gotta
him.
actually play the game,
Looking
gang.
for
You feel
him
me?
and looking where you are, and
He
I
funny
was
as
on
shit.
controller at first, and I had the hardest time because
He
I
said,
would
"I'm gonna get in
always
my bag."
overcorrect
If
things.
I who?
Mhm.
What
Yeah.
bag?
And I would overturn, die.
Who was
And
that
now I know
for?
just a few taps are enough
Wildin'.
with the controller
Yep.
to get it. But the hardest thing is, since he's so high up, like
Yeah.
it,
You
it's
have to
an
angle-
instant- Yeah,
Bro
There
logged
are
on the day the
cases, and
patch
that's
dropped
where
and that
that
was
whole
it.
know your arena piece comes into play. Look at your surroundings, right? When you're in the game, angle your camera, angle your camera in front of you, angle your camera behind you, put
did
it
finally
down
see it?
eye level with you. Shit, put
Nice.
it down lower than you so you can see what's over your head.
I might
if
play
you
UI
have
Goku
time.
for the bullshit.
Look at where
That shit
you're
look
fighting,
hilarious.
because most of the time it's going to come into play. And when it does,
You gonna play Beerus?
you know, you'll
Good
be
shit.
alive. Play it safe. It's fine to stop pushing buttons when you go into an instance for the first time. Somebody's going to tell you that it's not. That's a lie, bro. There are people out there, there are parsers, there are high-level players who are like, you always got to be doing your rotation. You
No,
always
I
got to
thought
be
you
pushing
had
your
Goku.
buttons. You
That
always got to
shit
be, always
funny
got to
as
be, always
fuck.
got to be. That advice is not meant for beginners. That advice is meant for people that have cleared ultimates, that have cleared savages, that should know their class
Right.
and have already kind of committed the stuff that we're talking about today to memory. That's not for y'all. And I think that's where a lot of the anxiety comes into play, because people think that it is for them and it's not. There's levels to this. Just like that's why I structured the academy the way that I did, freshman, sophomore,
still on
junior,
Skullgirls, right?
alumni. So that you understand that. You're not going to be at the same level as someone that's been playing and has done all the ultimates and all of the high-end content for 5 years versus I just picked this game up
Yeah, that makes
last
sense.
year. I'm not
Yeah, that
even
makes
out of
sense.
like Endwalker yet.
I had to be sure.
They telling me to do all this stuff. I can't do that. I don't know how. The game doesn't really teach you. It
playing
gives you the
Goku
basics
basketball,
and then
not
it
even a
expects
question.
you, the
I can
player,
help
to
it
build
straight.
up off of those on your own. And that's where a lot of stuff gets lost in translation.
Hey, you still streaming it?
I have a knowledge
I thought
check
your
in the
stream was
video
growing.
here. We can do it if you guys want to, but we don't have to. This is a complex mech that I have given no clues, no circles, no nothing on. But we can play with if you want to try it. This is a safe arena to test it out.
I bet.
Sure.
Okay. And you guys will have access to this video too, so you can watch it back at your own leisure, and see if you can kind of pick up on it. All right. I will say nothing. I'm just gonna pause before I resolve the mech to take answers and see what you guys come up with.
Need your Atlas patch?
What you got? Anyone?
Ooh.
You're in a safe space. If you don't know, it's fine. This is the safest place in the world to be like, I don't know, because I can work with I don't know.
Are we deciding what we can move, where we move to next?
How do I live? How do I survive in this situation? I'll play it back one more time. Ready?
Yeah, 2SKO fun as shit.
How do I survive in this situation? There goes the cast. We have our puzzle pieces.
And the arrows. You got everything on here.
How
They
do we
threw-
survive in
They
this
threw
situation?
everything. They threw everything.
What are we
Boring.
doing? Keep running and go to the left. Okay. So you say run this way.
I say one to the right.
I say
run to the right. Okay.
Left as well.
I say
Run to the left. Okay.
But I noticed you got the arrow.
Up. Ami
that's
sees it.
pointing Right.
Ami sees
yeah,
it.
it's gonna turn. So
So it will
Okay.
turn.
What's gonna turn? What's gonna turn? What
the
are you
bad
looking at?
things.
Okay.
The bad is gonna turn. 'Cause
The bad. You're saying the bad is
The
gonna turn.
bad
Okay.
is gonna turn. So
I
Alright.
If you
think
stay
she
here, you're
goes
not safe.
right.
I'd say left.
Well,
You're saying run
no,
left.
Not left. No, not left. Not left.
Don't run
It's
left.
Gonna turn
Okay.
uh,
I don't know.
up, maybe.
It's all right. It's fine to not know. There's no, like, you guys are good. Bounce the ideas, man. Come on, survive. Help me live. I'm gonna die,
I
guys.
just
Look, I only
see a
got half
force
health.
I think
march,
you
so
have
it's
to go up
automatically gonna push us to the right,
to go
so-
north.
It is on me. You are correct, Ami. You have to go to the right so I can go north. Okay.
Ah.
Oh, the forced march. I didn't even see that.
Oh yeah, you do have a force. Well, where's
I
your force
do.
march? I can't see your debuff.
Yeah, that
Force march is
rainbow
marking where-
arrow. That was the
Oh,
first
it's
thing I
on the buff.
noticed.
So
You wanna
there's
play
not a
Skullgirls?
debuff
You can
on
notice.
her.
Not no time soon.
She has. the
Don't say
deal.
anything. Don't say anything. Don't
Well,
say
you watch
anything.
it
They're figuring
anyway.
it out.
I'm in a radar
brainstorming.
class.
Brainstorm. This is their knowledge
the
check.
force march. I always look at the.
All of my
right
streamer
thing
friends
on
come
the screen,
here.
You don't have
Mhm.
that.
And we learn how to
Mhm.
rate
I first
in
noticed
Final
the force
Fantasy,
march at her feet
so we can do high-end content.
before I noticed the actual.
High-end
like,
content
marker.
means more money. People
Like-
pay to watch high-end content. I'm
Okay,
literally
so
here to
you-
get it
I
back,
think
bro.
you look right.
I look right. Okay.
That and this shit
and
fun
then
as
it's
fuck.
gonna force
And I love
you
playing with the
right
homies.
the other direction, which is technically left.
Basically,
Okay.
I'm in school.
What do you think,
I do-
class?
I do have an extra question.
Okay.
They can't hear
pad
me,
that's
though.
on the ground. Is that considered a puddle? Like now that that.
But
Yes.
I'm not against getting back
You
into
are-
Skullgirls,
yes,
but like
that's a puddle.
it's
Very
not my
good.
focus yet.
I don't know why. Okay, so my brain's not working all the way, but I think.
That's
I'm
okay.
not gonna run forever
Turn
like
to
somebody
left,
else we
I think
know,
that's
but
gonna
like
turn
Skullgirls is not in the
Clockwise.
cards.
Says-
No.
and you're
Okay.
gonna be a safe area.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ami says face left.
Yeah, that's
Right.
that's what like it's either left or north. But since you have like if that is a force march pointing that way, perhaps you have to turn yourself to the opposite direction, so that when you finish, you are at the safe space on the left.
Yeah.
Okay. So which way am I going? Which way am I turning in this scenario? I guess.
Main fighting games, the fight hurts.
That's
Maybe
my
I'm
left.
turning
You don't
left.
play that
Okay.
either.
I'm gonna say
What do you
left.
mean?
Arthur says left.
You don't
Britton
play
says
that
left.
either.
Who said right? Somebody said right. Sani, was that you?
Yeah, that was me.
Okay.
I said right.
That's my left.
Splash says right. Okay.
It's like we
At
said,
first I
my
said
main
right,
game
but
is
I think I changed it to left.
Millennium
I
Author.
think these are all my learners. Yeah. Let's see. Pony, did you want to guess? Or you just vibing? Pony might just be vibing.
I'm vibing, just mostly talking to chat. I don't
Yeah,
want to
I think-
interrupt.
I left,
Okay,
honestly.
okay.
It's
If
been
my
a while
brain's
since I did
tracking,
this fight
then
anyway.
definitely left
So.
for me.
All right. So I've got 2 for face left, and I've got 2 for face right. Let's see what
You
happens.
see the Avatar Airbender game coming out? I saw the picture of the trailer, but I didn't watch it.
Face right. So half of you were correct. The thing that I love the most is that you
Wait,
both. Hold
That
on.
for me
Hold
was
on.
left.
Wait.
Before you beat yourself up, all of you guessed correctly on how to resolve it. The only difference was the direction that you were deciding I should face. So pat yourselves on the back for that. You just solved the complex mechanic with no help or assistance of any
Did
kind
I?
from
did,
me.
Was, so did I? I
The
guess I
debuff
wasn't
corrected
looking
me.
correctly at the actual like the debuff marker to see which direction it had to go.
Mhm.
I was just mainly thinking of which way you were facing because the one at your feet was moving.
Gotcha.
Same. So I was
No
like,
problem,
the
no
arrow has
problem.
to go left.
Every single one of you were correct in how to resolve that. You need to be facing a different direction so that when the forced march resolves, you run to safety. All of you were
I
right.
gotta watch that trailer again.
Every
but,
single
like,
one of you. You guys
I
just
saw
got the
the-
direction
saw the
wrong. So I'm
loud.
just gonna let it play now, and you can watch it in action. Facing right would have been the correct direction because of the way the arrow is oriented on my body. And you can watch here, even me, I'm figuring out for myself as I'm fighting this thing. Wait, is it this way? No, not that way. Do I face this way? Okay, I'm a
Oh,
face.
I
I'm a
see what you
face.
mean
Do you see what I'm
now.
doing? You see how I'm playing with the arrow to see?
It's because
Beautiful.
the arrow turns you.
The arrow
And
turns
moves
as
you to the
I
left.
do. Yes.
That's where I got, because like that was definitely moving left, but you faced right because the arrow was gonna force you to move left. Okay, I get it.
Correct. You were all right. Every single one of you got the right answer for how to resolve it, and that is fine with me. That's all right in my book, dude. You guys are all golden for that.
But when
Um,
the arrow was facing downward, how come you didn't go south?
Because the arrow was not oriented at my front. The arrow was oriented at a different direction on my body. I had to face left so that the arrow was pointed down so that when the arrow rotated, it would point me right. Or I'm sorry, I had to face right so that the arrow was pointed down so that when it rotated, it would be pointing left and make me walk left. Does that make sense? It's complicated because it's a complex mechanic, but the arrow on my body was pointed. So like if you look at me in game, right? The arrow, if I'm facing you, if I'm facing this direction, the arrow on my body was pointed this way naturally.
Okay.
But it also had the rotation debuff on it. You remember that circle that we saw? And so what the game was basically communicating to me is that the arrow was going to turn one direction to the left. So if the arrow is already facing this way, it means that when it rotates, it's going to be facing this way. All the while, my body is still facing this way. So in order to go where I needed to go, I just turned my body where the arrow is facing originally. And then I'm gonna just do a bloop and walk where I need to go. That easy. It's crazy. It's crazy, right? Because it's like 5 to 6 steps in one go that you have to puzzle out on the spot. There's a timer, the music is intense, there's fire everywhere. I'm panicked, bro. I'm freaking out. But it's all really simplistic puzzles based off of the basic mechanics that I had you go through with the Smith. They're just adding in, they're mushing them together like Play-Doh. You all got the right answer, by the way. So your thinking is there. You just have to practice it. That's it. So, yeah, you guys are dope. Pat yourselves on the back. Yeah.
All of the dungeons in Dawn Trail and Endwalker seem like they did a lot more of mashing.
They did.
Mashing all the stuff together.
They did.
Yoshi said that he's trying to make the dungeon harder.
Mm-hmm.
What is his name? The guy in Endwalker, the guy with the long blonde hair that we had to fight.
Yeah. No spoiler. I don't know where everybody's at. So yeah, that guy. Yeah.
But yeah, that one was one that I did so many times that I'm like, oh wait, things can mix really easily and come right after another.
Yep. PvE fights in this game are a lot like cooking. You have a lot of basic ingredients that you have thrown together in a pot to make something. And if you can remember that and start to familiarize yourself with the ingredients at a basic level, you'll be all right. And that is why mechanics was one whole session, you see? Because it's a lot going into it. So, to finish out, first of all, do we have any questions, concerns, comments? Okay. There are no dumb questions. Feel free to ask anything. It's fine.
Oh, I do have one then.
Okay.
Is mayonnaise an instrument?
No, Patrick. Mayonnaise is not an instrument. Okay. So, for those of you that are interested, I'm going to take you to a place where you can put some of the complex mechanics into practical application. Don't be afraid. It's not dangerous. Okay, it is, I guess, technically, but it's a controlled environment. So you can play whatever you want to play because we're going to be running it unsynced. Does anybody want to go?
So,
Yeah.
I'm done.
Sure.
All right. Is it somewhere you have to go unlock? If you have done the Omega raids, I can tell you the specific raid since I'm logged in.
If you
It's
need
the
a buy, let me
Omega
know.
Savage.
We are going to do the Savage version, yes.
Okay.
We are going into Deltascape V 4.0 Savage. So if you have Deltascape V 4.0 completed, you can get in the car and we can unlock your Savage.
I have a savage.
Funny
mode.
enough, I did this yesterday because my husband was farming for the mountain. We were two-timing it, and the mountain got bad.
Yeah. All right.
But we died a lot, and we fell down a lot.
Party. Grab all my learners here. It looks like there's space for everybody. I love that. Is Allie, did you want to go with us? We're going into Exdeath. We can go to Exdeath. If not, I'll take Deshaun. Galley might be AFK.
Let's go.
All right. Are you on Dynamis?
I was
Deshaun?
talking, but I was muted. I'm available.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. We're good. We got 8.
Okay.
Everybody pick the class that you're most comfortable on. Whatever you want to play or intend to play in raid, whatever you're comfy with, go ahead and
Yeah,
Go
I was gonna
ahead
say
and-
my main quote unquote is Black Mage, but I've been really into tanking, so I wanted to learn how to tank. So
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm my safe class is dancer, but I've been really wanting to like play like white mage and just healers, but
whatever
it's
you're most
terrifying.
comfy with is totally fine by me.
All right.
You want
All
me
right.
to go as?
You can do whatever you want to. You can do samurai for all I care. I don't care. You're a big kid. I'm not. This
You said samurai, he like bet.
You can do whatever you want to do. It's your world. Live. The reason I have you guys picking the classes that you're comfortable on is because, and you'll learn this as we go through the different sessions, the classes that you are more comfortable on make it easier to pay attention to mechanics. Mechanics are king. Okay? I don't care what any other high-end raider or parser or anybody out there will tell you. If you can't do mechanics, you can't clear the fight. Damage can be fixed. That's something that can come with practice and time and all that sort of stuff. If you can't do the mechanics, you're just not finishing the fight, bottom line. So, playing something you're comfortable with that you understand how to use somewhat can help bridge that gap of getting mechanics
Okay, I
easier.
have it. I have the Savage Raids.
Huh? This fight is relatively harmless. I do expect Homie to fall down before you see anything of real consequence. Especially because you got me and Allie here. And Allie's on war. But that's okay.
I'm a Sammy.
Oh, you are on Sammy. And the ready check just said warrior. Okay. That's okay. I just
Allie
want you to
pulled up
try
Sammy.
your best. The whole point of this is to try your best identifying mechanics and resolving them in a way where you stay alive.
Okay. I'm gonna hide
That's
this
it.
so we can
It's
see
the only
my
thing we're
screen.
doing here. Well, that and we are unlocking your first ultimate, but that's neither here nor there. That's the prize. We'll worry about that in a second. I'm not explaining for a couple of reasons. Number one, I don't really remember this fight. Number two, I want you to try identifying and resolving mechanics on your own to the best of your ability. That's it. You're in a safe space. You fall down. You're fine. Remember the first thing I told you before we started going through all this other shit. Falling down is part of the journey. You're supposed to fall down. That's how you know don't do it again. Right? Right.
I ain't gonna lie, Smokey. I was sitting here thinking, I was like, do I remember X stuff?
I don't.
I don't. I don't remember that fight at all.
I remember it being safe enough to wing with people that don't understand combat, and that's all I remember. It does have some mechs in it, so it is what it is. All right, who's my tank? On your marker, whenever you're ready. Ooh. He is going to
Yep.
melt because this is a phase 2 fight, so don't be surprised when he falls down in like 30 seconds. Just
it helps if I'm on the right crossbar. I was like, why am I clemencing? Yeah, wrong crossbar.
All right. Enjoy the cinematic, by the way. One of the things I love most about doing Savages is that you get stuff that you don't get in normal content. Fuller music, cinematics like this. You know, enjoy the show.
The boy was mine to command. How could you? Ah!
Even make it through my opener.
Nor would you. Not with 8 people on Saints. I'm hoping we'll see at least one mech. I might refrain from hitting just so that we do.
I may do the same.
Yeah.
I'll just do main combo.
Okay, this is new.
But my parse.
Oh no, he's hot.
My husband said
He's
the same
what?
thing. My husband said
What?
the same thing yesterday. Why is he hot? Because he had never done.
I don't think we're looking at the same
I
thing.
never done this on Savage. This is new? I don't think
Yeah.
this is the same thing before.
Nah.
Savage.
That's Neo X Death. Take note of the cast bar.
Delta attack.
One thing you'll note is you get really long attack times. Or long cast times, I should say.
Emily just auto attack.
That's fine. The whole point was looking at some mechanics in here to see if you can figure out how to resolve them. Oh, well, look at that. He's dead. Oh, well. So,
Maybe
the
we get a
treasure...
mount for someone.
There is a mount in here. That crystal is a mount. So I have it, and I don't need anything out of here. You guys help yourself to this stuff.
Yeah.
Split it up, roll on it, do what you want to do what you got to do. This is all you.
I shall read it.
I have it already, so I pass.
That's a nice looking bow.
All right, cool.
Let's see.
When you're finished in there, meet me in Kugane. We're in party, so I will go ahead and just drop a map marker
Oh, that is a
for
nice
where
bow.
you need to go.
I'll pass it. I'll pass the bow. I'll pass the bow. Whoever wants it. I'll pass this. I think I have this one already. I'll leave that one. I will do this.
Damn.
Okay.
All right. Oh, that's free company chat, not party chat. My bad. Hold on.
Okay, cool.
There we go. Meet me here when you are finished with your rewards. Congrats to whoever gets the mount. Also, if you want to do some homework and actually see some mechs in there, find 3 buddies, go in as a 4-man unsynced and run it. See if you can get through the mechs.
Cross the bridge.
I'll wait till
Is
everyone's
this-
here.
Oh, this is Unending Coil of Bahamut. Okay, I already have it unlocked, apparently.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, yep. I didn't realize.
Alright, I know Pony's still teleporting. I know his load times are longer, but I shall start. This is the Wandering Minstrel.
No love for me, bro.
This man you will be spending a lot of time with, as if you choose to stay with me. If you choose to stay with me and learn and start going into Savaging and stuff, you will be spending a lot of time with the Wandering Minstrel. This is going to become your new BFF for doing anything high-end in this game. These cutscenes cannot be rewatched, so I will caution you now. If you are unlocking an ultimate especially, you may want to watch that and enjoy that experience. But you'll go see him, you'll tell him a story, he'll sing you a song, and you unlock something high-end.
I've skipped every single one of them. I'm a little sad. I always assumed I could just go
Aw.
back and watch them.
They're not in the
I'm not
book.
gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie.
Willem-
Same.
They are
Willem
not in the
Dafoe.
cutscene book. Sadly.
Willem Dafoe will ultimately be able to see them.
There you
Pun
go.
intended.
Yeah, I can watch them on Serene. I'll live.
All right. And with you guys having Ukab unlocked, that is your first ultimate. I have one last thing to teach you, and then we will be done for today, unless you have questions. In your Duty Finder, if you open up your menu and go to Duty Finder, there are 2 tabs, Regular Duty and High-End Duty. If you click on High-End Duty and hit that little purple face, there you will find the ultimate that you just unlocked, as well as any other you may have unlocked. I know some of you have hung out with me before, so you may have more than just Ukab. Ultimates are the hardest content in the game. You
wanna do
cannot
it.
go in with a party under 8. You cannot go in unsynced. So, we don't run Ukab here specifically, but if you are curious to try to learn an ultimate and you feel you are of appropriate level to do so, there are ways. There are Discords out there, there are groups out there that teach ulties. They are not teaching you fundamentals. You're learning fundamentals with me. They are teaching you specific fights.
Put me in
So
there
that is
right
the
now.
only thing that I will tell you to keep in mind. You
Frame
will
one.
learn how to be a better player in those environments oftentimes because they will teach you about your specific class, when to do things, how to do things, why to do things in the course of learning the fight. So you will pick up knowledge from there. But that's different from what I'm teaching you. I'm teaching you how to look for patterns, how to recognize what's happening on your screen when you've never seen it before, and how to adapt in a new situation so that you can go out and join a party finder and be comfortable and confident doing so. So that's the one thing I would say to keep in mind
Start the queue.
as the difference between us
Start the
and
queue
other
right
like
now.
raiding discords that you might stumble across.
I'm about to hit one up right now. Put
Do
me
we have
in.
any questions?
Yes. Where do we unlock top?
That is P8S. That is actually this class's final exam. We will be doing P8S unsynced.
Unsynced.
I'm not taking these babies into sync P8S. You're tripping, Deshaun.
No.
If y'all want to do it synced, you can go with Deshaun. Go ahead and tag Happy. He'll take you. I ain't doing that to
I'll
y'all.
definitely take you.
That's
I love the
crazy.
fight.
Y'all doing it
That's
sync? I want to go.
I love the fight. It's a good fight.
I want to go.
I'm not gonna do that to y'all. I won't do y'all like that.
No,
Can you
I
do
will
it?
not take y'all.
Probably, but I'm
I will not take
not
y'all
gonna
to
do
sync.
y'all like that.
If you ask for it, I will.
Yeah.
Call me.
I'm just waiting
I
to
wanna
be
go.
able to actually get back into doing the Thought of Darkness chaotic, so I can do that because that was fun to do and then gone.
Yeah, and I think that's gonna be a continuous problem with Chaotic Alliance raids when they come out. Is they'll be popular for a time and then just disappear.
Yeah, and I don't
we'll
think
see.
it started like right up when it popped up. It was just like
We did actually. I think it was like 2 weeks after it released that we started taking y'all in groups together. It was pretty early.
then other stuff released and then it kind of like dropped. Everybody
Yep.
dropped it.
Yep. All right. Well, with that, congratulations. You are done with today's session and free to go. I will post a thread with the resources that I introduced to you guys today. Links to both the video that I made, the website that we looked at, as well as this entire session because I streamed it to YouTube just so that there was a VOD for it. That will all be posted in that thread. Homework for you, if I had to give you any, would be pick something new or something that you didn't understand the mechanics for and take yourself into it this week and see if you can master it, if you can get better at it, if you can get through it a bit safer and a bit cleaner. That's your homework. These skills, a lot of what I am showing you are use it or lose it type skills. So you are going to want to be practicing looking for things, identifying things, doing things after we end our sessions so that it does kind of get baked in and become second nature to you. If you don't, if you walk out of this door and never use it or think about it again and don't play Final Fantasy for a week, you're probably going to lose the skill. So use it.
I have a question now.
Yeah.
Would it be a smart thing to kind of like test it out in the variant dungeons?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Because I figured
Variant
that there's
dungeons
a
are
lot of good stuff.
excellent for those. There's a lot of good places and ways to practice looking up complex mechanics or learning how to move. Variant dungeons are great. They can be soloed. By the way, if you are really wanting to try to like put some sweat on your back and like see how well you are interpreting mechanics, go in there by yourself. Or hey, you guys are all in this Discord together. You have a classroom. Tag each other, set up a day and go together. They're 4-man dungeons. You can literally run any class, so you don't need a proper workup or comp for that. And yeah, get in there, man. Absolutely. Variant dungeons are a great place to go. Alliance raids are a great place to go because you have to figure out how to do it amidst the chaos. Other dungeons, just anything that you have stepped into where you have felt very confused and you spent more time on the ground than you did actually like playing or doing the fight. That's where I am going to encourage you to go and test and try to use this. You have resources now. You understand the mechs a little bit better than you did, hopefully, coming in here. Go, be free, try your luck, see how well you can survive.
Sweet.
What was the trial you were doing in the video?
That was Aloe Island. It is a variant dungeon. So let me grab a link so I can give you guys 10, 14.
Well, I will be
I'm going back to my
it's
server.
2 a.m. and I do need to work tomorrow.
Oh my
So,
gosh,
Get some
rest
rest.
well. Thank you for coming. I hope it was
It was
beneficial, and
Have a
we'll
good
see
night.
you
very worth it. Yeah, very
next
worth
week.
it.
Alright.
Staying
All
up
right.
until 2 a.m. and I
Good work.
shall be here.
Good work today. See you
Good
later.
night.
Thank you. Bye.
All right. So I'm gonna drop this in the Discord text chat, but it will also go in with threads and resources. So if you do want to practice the literal thing that you were seeing me doing, you can. This is where to go to unlock it. Yeah. Focus mechanics this week.
Hey,
We will
Moon.
get into
Hi.
class rotation and abilities in a couple of weeks. I want to lay some
How
more
are you
foundation
today?
bricks first, and then we will start talking about how to do good damage, how to optimize your rotation, and all that sort of nerd shit. But for now,
What's up,
Just-
y'all?
hone your focus on mechs. I'll tell you this now. I'm a raider, Deshaun's a raider, and I'm pretty sure Allison would agree with me too. If we're in a party finder and we're trying to prog something, we're gonna take the person
Yeah,
that's
what y'all
consistent
in
and doesn't
class?
fall down
Yeah.
over the person that does huge damage and does.
I'm actually about to reset the VOD.
Every
Actually,
single time.
I
Every
gotta
time.
I gotta end stream for a minute and then
You're on your
restart
feet
it.
the whole
It's actually
fight.
talking about top clear.
Yeah, you're on your
I
feet.
do
your
that
whole
so
fight.
they,
I don't care if your damage is subpar.
so the
You're on
recording
your
can be
feet the whole fight.
separated.
That's more valuable to me. So
So I'll only take like a
this
minute.
is why this is what session 1 was made up of. Mechanics are king, and they always will be. Yeah,
I'll give y'all a heads up before I do it.
cool. I'm gonna go probably with Splash and Pony back to their world so that they can do their alliance raid before I have to stream. And I will see all of you beautiful people next week. If you think up questions or want to talk more, feel free to use the channels.
Sweet.
Thank you.
Of course.
Greg made dinner. Time to eat.
Good work, everyone. See you later.
Right, bye. Bye. Have a good one. See you next time.
Have a good one.
Yeah.
Okay, friends. Now, I'm gonna go back to my house, and then I'm gonna end stream and immediately restart it. It shouldn't take less than a minute, and hopefully the stream title would have changed by then too, so it won't take long at all. Are you trying to do the raid? Let us finish business and then we coming over. I bet. When you come over to my world, just go straight to my house. Yo, having a house is so convenient. Everybody can just estate TP. Like, no more meeting up in random crowded places. Y'all can just come right over. I'm getting the hold off these damn loading screens. Yo, welcome.
My bad.
You good? I'm off the clock. Hell yeah. Don't worry, Spooky. Everybody give me 1 quick second. Because once I load in, I'm going to end the stream and then start it back up so I can separate the VOD for Yada. I'm pretty sure Spooky has a better VOD, but for the folks that wasn't able to come to class, at least you'll have like 2 resources.
We definitely gotta run those those very dungeons.
I can send
that
it.
had the most